Why is that always me, bro?
This is not how this was supposed to go.
Yeah.
Hey Rob, welcome to Throtl. Man, I got something to show you out here. You're gonna have to check this out. Here it is. This is our 1994 Toyota Supra tribute car to the Fast and Furious hero car.
Wow, it is even prettier in person. So I do have to ask, why a tribute car?
Well, last year we took an Eclipse to SEMA that was a tribute. This is a project that Evan and I wanted to do for 4 or 5 years, and we finally were able to do it with the Eclipse last year because we couldn't afford a Mark IV. We finally found the right one and kicked it off.
You took some liberty on making it crazier than the car, but you still stuck with the hood with holes in it. What's the reason for the cutouts?
When these cars were new, there was a version called a TRD, and this was the hood that was on that car. A lot of companies made replicas of that hood and it became pretty popular. It's about the most accurate to the movie production hood that we could find. We want to make changes to the car, make it more modern and cool, but there are certain tidbits of the car that we wanted to keep. That way it has that draw. When you see it, you're like, oh, I know that. That hood to me was so important, it have to have that. And I think when it got here and we unboxed it and all the guys saw it, everybody was like, oh yeah, that's so sick.
The things that are pretty close to the movie, if not exact, is the decals.
I'm still friends with the owner of Modern Image to this day because I used to work there. And so I reached out to him when we did the Eclipse. And then this one, which to me, this is like the most famous one out of all of them. Has the Troy Lee Designs moniker right on it. Yeah. And it is the authentic gets graphic from the people that originally designed it and printed it.
We were saying off camera though that the original car did have a slightly different body kit or pieces to it?
Very different. Again, this was one of our modern touches that we did to the car. Most modern cars these days are wide body, at least a lot of the tuner cars that we see and that we deal with. So we want to put a wide body on this and give it a bigger than life personality. And I think the Speedwells kit that we chose did that. One of the things we did do to the Speedwells kit was we actually filled in the TRD style pocket in the fender. There was like a cutout that matches the similar triangle shape that's on the hood here.
Gotcha.
The movie car did not have that. So we went ahead and smoothed that and filled it. It looked a lot like the movie car, but you can't put your eye on why.
Yeah.
It's way wider.
Yeah.
When you see this thing from the back, you'll know.
What did catch my eye is the off-color yellow roll cage.
This roll cage was actually yellow in the movie. So if you look at any die cast or you watch the movie again, you'll notice now it stands out. The guy that created the original movie car had it painted yellow. Then when they painted the car for the movie orange, they never resprayed the roll cage. And you'll see a lot of blue accents too, which are a little bit out of the norm for an orange car.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason on this, it works.
I promised myself I would not do any movie quotes. So as your friend, I won't do it. But
are you asking me to pop the hood?
Yeah, I'm not going. Yep. If you could lift the front of the vehicle.
The bonnet.
Yes, yeah, the bonnet. So I am not surprised it's a 2JZ, but I am surprised at how beautiful this looks. You were saying that is the original engine?
I'd be lying if I told you I knew everything going on inside this motor because Quinn actually built it. So I'm gonna have him talk about it with you.
First of all, I want to give you a very big compliment because I can just look at the engine bay and tell what's going on relatively quick without being a piston engine guy.
Thank you.
For it looking so minimalistic, what was absolute necessities to making this build?
So we kind of tried to simplify everything. So pretty much everything in here minus the AC system is still here. Everything is kind of condensed and tucked into the engine bay to make it clean and look nice. So we're no longer running a brake booster. So simple things like that really clean up the sides of the engine bay and keep the shock towers nice and clean. But functionality wise, everything's still here. Running a Y-wire standalone engine harness. We have a Haltech Elite 2500 on this car and some other good bits. And
you have your own throttle machine head?
So those are from our friends over at Plasma Man. We actually reached out to them and they went ahead and engraved the valve covers for us, which is really nice. And they also added the Dash 10 breathers for the top, which is really cool.
What type of turbo is that?
So that's a new G-Series Garrett. So this is actually a G42 1200. So really good size. It's making peak boost at about 4,000 RPM, which is surprising for a turbo of this size.
This is such a small detail that I personally love is the battery terminals. The fact that that is so useful for cars like this. Are there any other sort of race functions that you guys have put on this car?
Yeah, so we have direct port nitrous injection. So there's 6 individual foggers. If you look up under here, we tucked them up under the manifold. So the biggest part for me was building the whole setup to be able to handle this and just kind of keep everything strong and compact, which is really cool.
So right now you have the 2JZ, you have the Getrag, and then rear diff stock or?
Stock rear diff, yeah. So we have a Clutchmaster's twin plate clutch in this and a drive shaft shop carbon fiber drive shaft, as well as their big buff axle kit. So she should be ready to handle.
I had some questions about the interior.
I got to bring Ricky in for that one. I had my head under the engine bay for the entire review of this build, so he's the one who got to the interior. So let's bring Ricky in.
Awesome. Ricky, this is super exciting. Could you tell me a little bit more about the interior?
Yes, of course. Let me open the door so you can actually see what's going on in here. The first thing that pops out is all the carbon fiber on the dash. In the movie car, the carbon fiber was a layover sticker. It's funny enough, this car actually had it. And
did it really?
Oh yeah, we started ripping all that stuff off. And I bought it from Carbonetic. Took all of our old pieces back, relayed carbon fiber all over it and brought it right back to us. And you see the dash, you see the Heltec. The original car had the big monster gauge in it.
Oh yeah,
So,
you're right.
The XC7 actually deletes all that stuff, so it makes everything a lot cleaner.
And then your speaker and sound system?
Like, you know, the movie car had all these amps and subwoofers, and we took all the stereo system out, all the wiring out, we blacked out everything, and we just focused on power.
Yeah. Something I've noticed is that you have 2 wings on the car.
Yeah. Yeah, we went with the double wing. You look at the APR mounts, they got cut and shaped to have the same angle as the wing.
Nice.
And we got their biggest wing, which is a 74-inch wing.
Is the hatch works? Everything's?
Oh, yeah. Here are the 2 nitrous bottles, and as you can see, they're both filled.
Oh, it's real.
Oh yeah, they're both filled, and we have about 200 shots of nitrous, which we haven't used yet.
Yes.
I think maybe we should take this into the track. What do you think?
I am not going to disagree with you. So if either of us went to go build this back when the movie came out, you'd be using a couple of different things. And so I was kind of wondering what you did to update the vision of the car from 20 years ago.
So standalone engine management system was a buzzword during the movie, right?
Yeah.
But it really didn't look like the technology was there back then, because there were gauges and pods everywhere on the dash and stuff. It was really busy on the interior of the cars. And the most modern thing you saw was, I think, a flip-out head unit with
PlayStation,
some random stuff on it, right? So we really focused on putting modern standalone system on this, where we have a Haltech 2500 that can control pretty much everything. As long as there's a sensor for it, it can control it, and it can read those parameters to us right through the dash. It really lends itself to a really clean look, and it also lends itself to just overall drivability of the car. This is that much better than what you would have found in 20 plus years ago. Oh, we didn't even mention all the computer-controlled machinery that made the valve covers and the plenums and the fuel rails. That stuff existed, but man, not to this level. One of the other things that we tried to do is, if you look at all the movie car videos from that era, they all had this like plastic colored loom inside of all the wiring and around all the hoses and stuff, just to kind of, I think, bring a pop of color. So we upgraded everything with, high-end either steel braided hose or Hypalon hose, PTFE hose for the fuel system. We actually colored the things that needed color, like the cam gears and the plate for the coil packs and stuff like that. I think that really modernized the engine bay a lot and allowed us a really nice clean aesthetic versus all this plastic stuff run everywhere. We think we did a good job of sort of infusing that 2000s styling into something that would have been made back in the 90s and not as cool. So
yeah, I think you knocked it out of the park.
Oh, thank you.
basically what's just happened is I'm hoping the puddle is the rear of the car because I have the rear diff.
It looks like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm very familiar to this.
Me too.
Yeah, I wasn't ready for it to go out so quickly.
I know.
I already knew what happened because I like I said, I've been here. The same lane with my FD happened. With our Viper, the axle, you know,
Here.
Same lane,
Same lane, not even the
same
same
track,
place.
same lane, 3 times in a row.
Why did you not go in the other lane?
Because this is the slick area. This is if you want a stick, you want to go to the left side, and you know, I go all out. Or either the diff leaves, the axle leaves, or I'm leaving. But so this time the diff took off.
This is such an important part of when you say like the show's title, American Tuned. This is truly one of the realistic parts of every single person that builds a car and makes a lot of power. This is a moment that is in part of your journey.
So it's one of those things that has to happen.
Yes.
For you to be like, oh, there's my weakest link.
Yep.
So here we go. So we'll get back to the shop. We'll buy a really big, strong diff, and then we'll see what we break next. Yep, exactly. And then we'll just upgrade that.
Oh, it actually spun the tire?
Spun the tire on the rim, yeah.
Well, at least you had fluid in it. I was standing on this side of the car, so I saw the tire actually struggling, and you can see the sort of torque that was being put from the wheel to the ground. It was enough to shift the wheel off the tire. And so it's in the right direction. That it squeaked a little bit. You know, there's ways to solve this. Like you can have all those bolts or screws, all the different types of solutions. But at the end of the day, when you have this much horsepower, it's kind of expected.
We learned 2 things. We learned we need to order a diff, and we might need to be ordering a transmission too.
No good story is complete without a redemption arc, and this is the perfect case of it. Within less than 2 weeks, the guys at Throtl, they were able to get a new rear differential, rear axles, drive shaft in the car, and we are back at Verona to see what this car can do. Mickey, you guys truly did the impossible.
We actually found a gentleman who had a strange 9-inch rear end on the shelf with all the components needed to bolt this directly into the car. Got it in the next day, and here we are back again at the track with a full 9-inch strange rear end with a wave track LSD and drive shaft shop axles and drive shaft. So we should be good to really get this thing down the track.
That's exciting. So what are we gonna do now?
So this car is wildly untested. This car went to SEMA, came here, broke the diff. Really today is just to see it go down the track, see how it does, and have some fun.
Okay, well, I'm excited to get inside.
It's raw, so have fun.
We are back.
We're back, yeah, for sure.
So what I want you to do is kind of run me through the process or the sequence that you do so far with the one time you've gotten a chance to drive it too.
Obviously line up to the burnout pit, get your rear tires wet, your brake, go all the way down, hold the line lock, let go of the brake, go to your first gear burnout, do your burnout till you feel comfortable on, and then line up and launch it. Brake all the way down, hold it, let go of the brake.
Okay, here we go. That thing, that is amazing. Oh, this car is fun.
That was a burnout.
That was incredible.
Dude, what an amazing drive, dude. Oh my God, you killed it.
Like little girls, we were
I know.
shrilling.
I know I was screaming.
The thing really that most people don't get to see is these sort of moments, but this is a massive success because all the little things to make it faster are little things. Like,
Yeah.
Like the car is very solid.
We know it works now, and that's what we wanted to learn today was let you have some fun, but also does the car work? Yes, it works, and it's basically in its infancy here. Now we can go back and fine tune everything, which is gonna be the fun part. And then I think we're probably gonna have you come back down in a couple months' time once this thing's all sorted out and actually give her the beans.
It'll be a different animal for sure, man.
Yeah, I'll take the whole enchilada.
Done deal. We want to make this car a little more well-rounded. Right now it was done like this on purpose to make it a drag style setup, because the movie car, theoretically, it was kind of a drag car. It was a straight line car racing against the black Challenger Charger, and we wanted to kind of give that as an homage, but we want to get the thing on the track as well. We want to make it handle some turns and be able to be a little more well-rounded than just a drag racing car. And then we'll throw some, some 18s on it with some smaller tires in the back, and see how it can get around the track as well.
Well, yeah, with all those adventures, you're certainly gonna have to turn on the two big ones, the NOS.
Yeah, the NOS bottles in the back are begging to be used, and so now we got to go back. And now that we know that the car works, it's working good, we can go back, retune it with the NOS, and we can use the NOS how we want. That's the bonus. Yeah. We can use it for spool up, we can use it for top end.
Well, you have to promise me that when you go on all these adventures, I get to tag along, because I'm like emotionally vested now.
Hey, you're our test driver now, so when we get it back out here, you'll be the first one we call, and you'll get to enjoy the ride as well as we will.
Awesome, man. Well, I will be seeing you very soon.
Sounds good. I look forward to it.